start the next part of this vlog. Before I start the next part of this vlog, I'm just going to go through what I did before I start installing the electric rack and pinion. Just a quick run through. So first I remove the power steering pump, or I said bleed the line, remove the lines, then remove the power steering pump. We disconnect the outer tire ends from the strut. Disconnect the rack and pinion from off the steering column from inside, and then unbolt some 17 bolts that's all in the rack to the brackets. After I remove that rack now, which I took from this end, remove the brackets that's bolted onto the chassis. So after that, now that's what I did to completely remove the rack and pinion, the hydraulic rack. So now I'm just going to continue with part 2 of the video to show you how I install the electric rack and do the wiring to get it to work. Alright, had some rain, have to pack up and run in, but this is how far I reach now. The rack and pinion installed with the brackets and stuff. Going to now install the inner and outer tire ends. I already took it off the previous tire racking. So now what I did, I just temporarily attach it. Going to remove it back to align the wheels, then after align it, put it back on the steering. Alright, install the inner and outer tire ends now. 2, no, day 3, because if it was day 2 I wouldn't have the wires in. So it's now day 3, or the final day of the EPS installation and the RSX. What I did on day 2 was to run this wire loom for the computer, or for the power steering box. Run it through the firewall, through this firewall, where you have this main wire loom running. So we run it along with that one through the firewall. It's located under the gas pedal, along with this 8 gauge wire that is connected to your power source. You can connect it to your battery or the fuse box. And this fuse, 60 amperage fuse, just in case anything should go wrong, the fuse will get it instead of the box. I have to go on the other side and show you. But after I connected the necessary wires from the computer loom, or the computer plug, I think it was the A and E plug, you then connect it to the necessary ones on this connection, which is the blue and white, straight blue, and the yellow. Yellow is for ignition, straight blue NEP, and blue and white VSS. So also I'm going to put the diagram of your computer, your main computer, to find, so you can know which pins or which wire you must connect it to, send it to this. So I'm just going to go on the other side and show you the wires that are connected to, or I tap into, and then send it to this plug here. You can also do it from this, you can also send it to this, because it's this same wires that goes and come back into this plug. But because I have this as a loose wire, loose end, just connect it to this. And that I did for this connection. I got a female plug or wire connector, and just tape around the edge, tape it, so I don't have any, it doesn't touch any areas, because it's current that's going through this. And I just take it and I just plug it to this. Bam. Can't do it now with one hand still, but that's what I did, and it's all in firm, so I don't have to really mess with that here, because I'm going to put that here away when I finish, because all of this is for testing purpose. I'm going to reroute these wires, because as you can see, I can just plug them out right here. Yeah, see, plug them out and reroute them under the dash or around the back here, so you just don't see any wires. Alright, so I'm just going to go on the other side now and show you how I tap into the system, or the loom, the wire loom for the computer. We're now on the other side. So the plug goes as follow. You're going to find the A and your E plug. So it goes like this: A, B, E, A, B, E. When you take out your ECO, I think it's flip, so it would be A, B, E from the left, A, B, E. But no, that is like this, it's A, B, E. Alright, so you need 3 wires. You're going to work with the A and the E plug. So for you need 3 wires to tap into, which is the VSS, which is a vehicle speed sensor, the NEP, RPM, and the ignition for current to power the box when you start the car. And the A plug now, you find the VSS, which is A18. And I marked this. I did this long before I do the installation. That's when I'm ready to do this. I won't have any problems, or not even problems, but I don't have to be looking for it. I just mark it from early. So you find A18 on the A plug, and A18 would be a white green and white wire right here, this wire. So you tap into that for the VSS. Bam, that's out of the way. Then you find your E plug, and this is where you look for your ignition and your NEP wires. And the NEP wire would be, what's this, I think blue. Yeah, yes, blue wire, and that would be E26, which is this one, the blue wire. E26 NEP, yes, I mark it 26, but it's E26 because this is the E plug. And for the ignition, it's a black wire, which is E9. It is black and yellow, I think. Yeah, black and yellow, yeah. And that is E9 on this plug. So when you tap into that, you will get these wires. This now you send to make a connection to the EPS plug. I'm going to go around to that side again to show you the connection. But before that, this is how you have another way you can connect your VSS and your ignition, which is on this plug, this big plug. It's normally attached up here. The colors are kind of different. The colors, I think, represent the ones on the EPS plug. So your ignition now would be this yellow one, and your VSS would be this blue and white. So it's the same color like the plug on the EPS computer. So I use this method instead. I was going to do this one, but I discovered this method, so I'm working with this method. I rather this method, but I still have to use this blue NEP on the E plug. All right, on to the other side now. All right. So when you tap into the system now, I remember my wires based off the color. So my black wire, that would be the ignition. Black wire would go on this yellow one, would connect to this yellow one on the electric power steering back computer loom. And just like the other side where you see I made the connection from the yellow, which represent this yellow. But if you're using the E plug, you're going to, which color is that? Black and yellow. You're going to use the black and yellow and connect it to this yellow on the electric power steering loom. And then for the VSS, would be the green and white, and the A plug, which is A18, and my A18 or my VSS is white, this white wire. So you're going to connect that to blue and white on the electric loom, the power steering loom, computer loom. So that's the vehicle speed sensor, which is the green and white on the A plug, A18. You're going to connect to the blue and white on the electric power steering plug. And for the ignition now, which is black and yellow on the E plug, E9, you're going to connect that now to the power steering loom, computer loom. You connect it to the yellow wire, or if you're running it from that E plug that I did, from that yellow where I pointed out to this yellow. And for the other two wires now. Light. If you notice the leak from the hydraulics, not the one I took out, you know, one before. The hydraulic rack and pinion before the one I took out was leaking very bad, so I have to buy another hydraulic rack and pinion. That was alright. That's now the one that I took out to install this. That one was good, but this is what happened. Power steering fluid start to come inside from through that connect to that area and run go under your mat and stuff. Alright, back to what I was saying. So you have this loom now, and the loom, two big wire, this blue and white, which is the main power wire, always getting power. That before I go to that, you have this black wire, which is the ground. I ground it right there. Then you have the blue and white, which is the main current, always getting power. So I send that through the firewall. Well, I send that to a fuse first, which is this 60 amperage fuse, and then from the 60 amperage fuse to the main current, the main current in the engine bay, that where I want to be a the fuse box or the battery. I use the fuse box for that. So let me go in the engine bay now and show you the connections from alright. So when now you run it, you send a wire through the firewall and it come out this section. You make this connection. You have this bomb, that one, which is for the pump. Then you have this one. So I connected those two. The power wire now that I run through the firewall. This is it. This is where I use it, from the fuse box section. So I connect it to this. You can also connect it to your battery if you want, because it's still straight current. But for this method now, I'm going to have to, for this to close properly, I'm going to have to make a little cut right here so I can close it properly. And after all those connections are made, plug on your ECU, computer ECU, and even though these two plugs look alike, they can't work they can't plug them anywhere. They only plug in the designated areas, and then you plug on this. Then you start the car and keep your fingers crossed. Alright. So let's that's it. I guess so. Oh, that's it. Whoa! Let's try that again. So there you have it. As I said though, I'm going to, because this was testing, so everything right now is out of place. Going to now neat up everything, put this in a area, a safe area, tuck it somewhere, seal the loom section that I push this through, the loom for this. I'm going to use some silicone and put in that area to make sure it's sealed, so no water, to prevent water from coming in the car. Tape out those areas, those wires, so they don't grounds out, and fix up what the mat and stuff. But as I said, success. Installation was complete, and I have some hiccups on the way though, because this wasn't the first starting. I just do it for the purpose of the video. The first time when I finish with all the connections and I start the vehicle, I notice something. The steering wheel starts to move on its own, going from one end left, full lock, then come back right, full lock, and I didn't have any control. It was doing its own thing. So I have to do some research, and I found out that, I don't know if I noticed in some phones that people are having the same issue. The problem for that was this connector, this one, for it's for this one, it's for the pump, the motor. I bought this loom from the UK. So what happened was, let me from the yeah, this plug. If your loom is from the US, you don't have to do anything. If you bought the loom from UK, you're going to have to repin these. Just switch them around. You can do it from this end, or from this end, like what I did. I just unplug this and just interchange these two wires, and the system will start to work perfect. So that was my issue when I finished installing this. Everything else was okay. I double checked to make sure everything was connected right over on that side, and it was okay. So when I did the research, I found out that because my loom is from the UK, I have to interchange those two wires, and everything now is working perfect. So we have come to the end of another installation, or a must-have installation for the DC5, which is the electric power steering. And if the video was helpful, you can post comments, like, dislike, the good stuff, share and subscribe for more, because I have other content coming. As you can see, the car is right now being worked on. Roof remove, all those stuff. The car is being worked on. So see you again on another vlog.